for Halloween. If you like falsetto in your heavy metal, play some King Diamond tomorrow night. Our metal show on Saturday nights is called 2 Hours to Midnight. Gets going at 10 o'clock. It's me, Corey Roddick, Pat Butler, all coming in to toss off 120 minutes of nothing but heavy metal. Got local music, got classics, got brand new stuff. Local band called Air to None. Going to play for you tomorrow night. Got some brand new POD with Randy from Lamb of God. Got some brand new band called Go Ahead and Die. Cavalera Brothers from Sepultura. Doing a new thing, I think, with their sons. Anyway, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, it's 2 hours to midnight here on The Buzzard. Also, beginning on Sunday, you'll be able to start using the promo code SPOOKY for 20% off at CLE Clothing Company. Spicy is your September word. Good for the remainder of the month. I guess tomorrow's the last day of the month. Already, September, over. And spooky for October. The Detroit Lions rolled into Lambeau Field last night now that it is an Aaron Rodgers-free Green Bay Packers. And pretty much rolled over them. The takeaway for people who are covering that game is how many Lions fans were at Lambeau Field. It's not usually the case. But it almost looked like a home game at Ford Field because there were so many people in blue jerseys. And Lions got an early lead and basically ran away with it. And the people who were there for, doing the play-by-play or the post-game show or whatever were commenting on it.
I feel like I'm screaming right now because you would think that we were in Detroit with these fans. Unbelievable. Just enjoy this, Lions fans, for a second.
Well, they deserve that. They deserve this.
Yeah, listen, Lions fans are long-suffering fans.
They are.
Like Browns fans.
And I love that Tim Robinson is a Lions fan because Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson have gone to some Lions games, and they are using that video of Tim going, "You sure about that?" Makes me so happy.
34-20 was the final. The Lions are at 3-1. Your Cleveland Browns taking on Jim Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. That'll be an exciting game. Former Brown, isn't Jadeveon Clowney on the Ravens now?
Yeah.
They're making a big deal about that?
I don't think so. I think
thought he was.
I mean, he might be trying to make a big deal of it, but he's not on the Browns defense this year, and the Browns defense is the best in the league.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. They're very, very good.
Hey, look at them.
And so, I don't think that makes Jadeveon Clowney look good.
I see. Even in his absence, they're still killing it.
In their well, when he was on the defense was real bad. They had a bad coordinator. Joe Woods was not good. And now they got Jim Schwartz, former Lions coach.
Mm-hmm.
And now things are going really well for that defense. I think they have one of the top 4 defenses all time. Like, there's not been defenses that have done what this Browns team has done except 3 other times. So, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive so far.
All right. Does it make you sad to be a Chargers fan now?
I mean, a little.
I mean, the last thing you want is people
but I made my bed.
I know.
But I'm going to give them credit where it's due, and that defense is badass.
Sure thing.
So I'm gonna give them their flowers.
Joe Thomas is set to be feted one more time by the Cleveland Browns during the halftime ceremony.
Ring of Honor.
The Ring of Honor. Joe Thomas into the Ring of Honor. Now, what is the Ring of Honor?
So around the bowl of the stadium, there's a bunch of names and numbers retired. And his name and number will be added to that.
Wow, okay. I mean, he's probably wearing that Hall of Fame jacket everywhere he goes to. I certainly would. Because there's the added benefit of people thinking that you work for Century 21 Realtors and that they might be able to use your wisdom for some a rental property or something. So, yeah, Joe Thomas going to get out there, and, of course, the place is going to go wild. It's a home game. They're going to love it. He'll get the Ring of Excellence from the Hall of Fame and be enshrined in the Brown Ring of Honor. I feel like that's a typo. But there it is.
It is not. It might be. They probably forgot an S. It's not the Brown Ring of Honor.
That sounds like it
Brown's
is missing
ring. Yeah.
an S.
Brown's Ring of Honor, not the Brown Ring of Honor.
Brown Ring of Honor. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know. Joe Thomas has been on this show. Lovely man, hard worker, seems like a great dude. I don't know
from time to time.
I don't know anything about his personal life. Brown Ring of Honor might be just as exciting for somebody. He's the first player from the Browns who played in the 21st century to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Browns legend Mac Speedy will also receive a Ring of Excellence. Remember Mac Speedy?
No.
He'll be represented by his son-in-law. Maybe Mac Speedy is dead. I don't know. Anyway, 1 o'clock kickoff, Ravens, Browns live in Cleveland, Ohio on Sunday with Joe Thomas. And speaking of the Brown Ring of Honor.
In that Brown Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I was reading about, Poundcake, did you see the AIDS memorial that everybody's complaining about because of how it looks?
No.
The city of Palm Springs, California, commissioned. Have you seen this? Commissioned.
I had not seen this. Why?
There's a delay. I can't see it.
Yeah, let me
just Google it.
Yeah.
AIDS Memorial?
Yeah, Palm Springs.
Palm Springs AIDS Memorial. Why would they do that?
The complaints from the community are that it looks like an anus. Now, I think you see what you want to see.
What's it supposed to represent, though? How do they wrap
it is
that?
supposed to represent
An anus, it looks like it.
Well, the people who... the opening at the center is at eye level and it allows a view through, right? Now, the artist who makes anything will always have a very lengthy explanation about their work. You have to make it sound very important and the thought that went into it. This could also be A+ level trolling.
I was like, sir, this is a b-hole. Sir, plain and simple.
It looks like a donut with ridges on it. And the sculptor said that the opening in the center is at eye level, and it offers a connection and a view beyond what is directly in front of you.
Could be a C ring.
He said that he hopes it provides an opportunity for reflection and remembrance. Obviously, the people of Palm Springs are a little less than enthused.
So petty.
With the way that it's... if you want to bring that up on camera 6, Bill, I'll show the video here.
There we go.
The local news coverage.
Resembles other things.
You hear it called the donut.
Hold on, I'm clearly hearing two things here. Let me...
You got two windows.
Yep, hold on.
Raised about an AIDS memorial planned for downtown Palm Springs. Right now, the sculpture is planned to look like this. These pictures you're seeing here. Some people don't like it. News Channel 3's Jake Rossi live in studio with more on the controversy and possible changes in response to those concerns. Jake.
And John, it is a 9-foot sculpture planned for a Palm Springs park meant to remember lives lost to HIV and AIDS. But the design doesn't...
I was going to say, Jake sounds like he might have some personal opinions.
He's like,
on
I actually think it was pretty fitting. I mean...
I trotted out on the way here.
And he's cute, too.
Well, yeah, he's on television. I mean, I know that doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot of not good-looking people on TV now, but yeah, it's Florida.
His hair's so swoopy.
Florida's a market you got to be, you got to look good on TV.
Resonate with everyone. In fact, some call it inappropriate, and the committee in charge says they are now listening. It's the proposed AIDS memorial sculpture, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars in the community and stirring up controversy over its shape.
See, the back looks weirder than the front. The one with the concentric circles looks okay. When they turn it around and it's got like ridges, it looks I mean,
limestone statue with concentric carved circles meant to represent the diverse community impacted by AIDS. Its eye-level opening signifying connection, reflection, and hope. But
dude, Frank Jackson would have loved to have had this here in Cleveland.
Right. This should
Yep.
Cleveland is perceived to be the butthole of the world sometime, right?
I don't like that they have a guy and a little boy walking in between the two donuts. I don't like that.
Well, I guess you're not alone in this, are you?
Some saying it's too abstract.
It's really strained. I mean, this is almost like a piece of art looking for a purpose.
They're waiting for birds
instead
to
of the
poop
other
on
way
it.
around. It could be about anything, and as a consequence, it's kind of about nothing.
There's also the view that it too closely resembles other things.
You hear it called the donut all the time. You hear it called the word you can't say on camera all the time.
For some on social media and beyond, the design resembles an inappropriate body part on the rear end.
The backside of the proposed memorial looks like a graphic depiction of the backside of a human being.
The memorial is...
So the backside of a human being. They can't say anus on television.
They hate us because they ain't us.
But imagine what that's going to look like with the seagulls and like the pigeons poop on it.
Yeah, but it's such a...
Jeez, dude.
We have such
I'm just saying.
I know.
We have...
It's true.
I know. We have such a wild country, though, that you have people complaining that it looks like a beehole, but then they go to cover it and everybody's dancing around it. Nobody wants to say on television...
They don't want to offend the gays. That's what it is.
But there are... Well, first of all, I don't know that gay people are offended. Second of all, I don't know that... I don't know... I mean, you heard that one guy. He's like, it doesn't really do anything.
But
I
guess it depends on the story, because last time I checked, we weren't allowed to say the S word on live broadcast, but because Trump did it, Anderson Cooper couldn't stop saying the S word for S whole countries. Like, so...
Oh, S word for poop.
Yeah, they were saying that left and right after Trump did it.
Well, because that was a news quote.
And this is
news. Well, but they're not saying... Well, right, but...
You can say anus if it's not in, like, you're not talking about, like...
But they wouldn't be quoting anyone. I mean, when Trump was president and was saying S-hole countries, they were quoting him. You can do that stuff if it's a news quote. That was their loophole, if you pardon the pun. But this thing here, it's just weird. Anus is a medical term.
That's what I'm saying. They can't say...
And they're dancing around it, and it's so strange.
I think it's probably because there's a lot of scrutiny on the gays in Florida right now.
No, it's because everybody wants to complain, but nobody wants to stand up for their complaints. Everybody wants to complain and bitch and whine about something, but they don't want to say, here's what I think. There's plenty of people complaining with no facts whatsoever about a variety of things. But if they were doing a television piece and they were like, we think it looks like an anus, then you can have a grown-up conversation.
Okay.
I mean, it's still pretty silly. I'm curious how the sculptor arrived at that. Because there had to be some thought about, like, well, how is anybody who is commissioned to do public art? This is not in your gallery. This is not,
public guys.
Well, public art. If it's going to be somewhere, I would think there would have to be a thought on the part of the artist. How could this be perceived? How can I best, you can get lost, well, and get lost up your own ass. If you're an artist and you kind of aren't seeing the bigger picture. What's that?
I think it's a big troll.
I think
they knew what they were doing.
I think some people thought that too, and that's where the complaints were coming from. But when I saw the first pictures, I was like, well, that's not that big of a deal. It's just concentric circles. But on the other side,
it's all ripped.
For our pleasure.
I think it's a big troll, and it's a way to get national attention, and then that way they'll have a budget to work with. People, that's not a good memorial, but then people will be compelled to give money to the cause because they don't want a beehole representing their pandemic. That was the LGBTQ pandemic back then.
Yeah, but also people, and I think rightly, they say, well, that's what you see, and that says more about you.
No.
People are always injecting their own biases into things too.
But it doesn't. It's just a sculpture. But like they ain't have no, blood on it for all the bloodshed.
Oh, right, this guy.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Blood for the bloodshed.
I'm just saying, like, it could have been a pair of hands, like the government had blood on their hands. They didn't do anything about it. There's a million different ways he could have gone with that. But
That's true.
It's a chiseled, ribbed circle.
You can take me, but you cannot take my bunghole.
You hear it called the donut all the time. You hear it called the word can't say on camera all the time.
The backside of the proposed memorial looks like a graphic depiction of the backside of a human being. I can just visualize the whole slew of potential social media posts making fun of something that is so important to our community.
Well, there you go. They don't want people making fun of it.
And that's how much
They don't want it to become like a goofy tourist attraction when it's supposed to be an AIDS memorial.
Well, if they cared that much, they should have vetted the person. They just, where's our
like give them
money?
some guidance.
Yeah, here's what we want. Here's, and then check in on it. You take someone at their word.
Yeah,
to get some.
Before they present the sculpture, let's see a proof.
I'm just
He just rolls it off the truck and into the park.
I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like if you want to get anything done downtown, if you want to get a pothole filled or something like that, there's levels of people you got to talk to before people actually go to work and do it. That's why nothing ever gets done. So why don't they do the same thing with a sculpture that you value so much? It means something to the culture down there, and the big unveiling, and no one knew that it was a donut.
I think things like this. I mean, you're talking about the city works department and things like that. With
no one checked on it.
With respect to potholes. I think something like this, though, if you have someone who's like donating money to the city for the purposes of a memorial, like, I don't know that they were using city money. It could have been a donation.
Still, it's a lot of trust.
There's probably less. I think when someone else is paying for it, there's a lot less vetting because they're like, yeah, cool. You want to drop $1 million for not just the statue they should have vetted. They should have vetted the people writing the headlines for these stories, too. I think proposed AIDS memorial anus statue getting pushback was not the best way to write that headline.
That's exactly how you write that headline.
Well, anyway, the people of Palm Springs there, which I think is a pretty Tony community, too. I mean, it's not, they're pretty hoity-toity. It's a lot of golf courses. There's a lot of spas. There's a lot of, that's out in the Coachella Valley. They should have put it out of Coachella. You'd have influencers hanging on it all the live long day.
Hey, that guy that called in and said you guys are always talking about Trump and hating on fat people doesn't know what he's talking about. Because usually you guys are just talking about what kind of food you guys eat and dislike. And I guess I can't eat dairy, and I like bananas with naked bananas. And Bill's like, I eat everything. And Poundcake's like, I like men's penis. So that's what I usually hear when I listen to the show. And also, if you ain't watching Killing It, you're doing it wrong. That Australian girl is cute and funny and hot.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, that's the beauty of this is everybody hears something different. By the way, she is not hot, Claudia O'Doherty, if you're watching Killing It there on Peacock. She's funny. I would not call her hot. Cute, maybe? Can you be cute and hot?
I think so.
Oh,
No.
Can you? I thought those were two separate delineations of she is funny, but I don't know that I would look at her and think she's hot. But anyway, but yeah. What that guy hears is different than maybe somebody else might hear. It's different things to different people. That's the beauty of it. But Killing It Season 2 over there on Peacock. And again, it's the accent. I used to like the accent, the Australian accent, and now it's, because my daughter still watches a lot of Bluey, and that's tough too, boy. It's tough. And those are just cartoon dogs. I've got a break. We'll have a couple of passes for you. Last pair of the week to see Bill and Mary. Bill's new taping at the Agora in December is going to happen on December the 22nd And you can go to agoracleveland.com for the info. I'll have another pair of tickets for you later on.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. Rover's Morning Glory.
Someone stole your mom's dildo?